strip, and from right to left, all in white, the wonder kid, Anders Vergang, the world champion, Umut. This is going to be a remarkable 2 legs of FIFA. Strap yourself in, because it could be a very quick start here from Team Footwiz. Edge of the box dancing, good defensive work from RB Leipzig, and that's something that RB Leipzig don't get enough credit for. Defensively, they barely concede chances.
They're so good at a lot of the manual steps and just controlling certain areas with spacing, even frame rates, understanding what skills can beat you, what cancellations can beat you, what your options are. And it's all about micromanaging, doing this on the pivot, doing this on the fly, being able to adjust almost off instinct.
Instinctively, you give the controller to Umut and Anders. I don't think there's many better, to be completely honest. To give you the lowdown on the player indicators, if you want to watch an individual player at home and see who maybe wins or loses their side the FIFA eClub World Cup. Red for Footwiz will be Ethan, he will be the captain of this side. Yellow, Nick Sneb, and for Red Bull RB Leipzig, it's going to be the dark blue of Anders Vergang, the captain. The main reason you pick the captain in the two is who's better with the goalkeeper, who's better with the goalkeeper movement. Their sole responsibility is moving that goalkeeper, and whenever you see Footwiz get the ball out wide, that is where Anders will start bringing that keeper all the way 8, 9, 10 yards out.
And both these teams like more of an organized havoc approach. And you already can probably tell if you watched the previous semifinal with Leipzig, it was a lot of NIP looking for opportunities and not finding them.
Just falling on the edge of the box there, gets the strike away, good save.
But they were trying to slow down the game where they were trying to speed up. Both these teams want high tempo, fast tempo, quick movement, a lot of chances.
On the back of that chance, RB Leipzig recycle the corner. Milinkovic-Savic getting involved, but he surprisingly on this time with the ball at his feet, not in the air. I'm surprised by that Milinkovic-Savic shout, because it's not something you associate with them. They're not hitting German crosses a lot. They're not whipping the ball into the air. This is where they are dangerous, in and around the box, that 1, 2, 3, 4 passing moves before they release Umut or Anders to go and be magical with a step-over combination or a green time strike.
I think Savic is there for 2 reasons. One, to take up space in the midfield. He's fantastic at that. The chase back, all-inclusive, and that type of ordeal.
Can't see it for Footwiz. Is he onside? He is.
That's not the right judgment. They had him. At least another dribble there. Fantastic goalkeeper movement's got to be said. And then number 2, I was going to say, is the long throw. They've been using Savic for this long throw knockdown. Even though they don't whip it crosses, that's something that only he really gives you that clear advantage.
Footwiz all in this game so far.
They have to convert, Rich. They have to convert from there, across the body.
Van der Sar called into action 2 times in the opening 20 minutes. Cross whipped into the box. It's a good defensive header from RB Leipzig, and Umut will just bring the ball clear. No real incentive to fly forward this early in the game. And, I mean, if you're neutral in this match, you are enjoying every single kick so far. End-to-end FIFA, both teams on the front foot. An attacking play at the forefront of the mind. Ousmane Dembele, one of those picks for Team Footwiz. He gets the starting 11. No surprise in that.
I was just going to get into some of the team choices, because you see the likes of Zaha. Zaha's playing as a fullback. And it's common in the competitive scene to have these offensive fullbacks or almost wingers playing as fullbacks, but it's because they use them so much more offensively for whipping in the crosses and attacking that space. They become more valuable in that type of role versus the defensive chase back.
Always looking to build up here. Ronaldinho on the edge of the box. Good play. Can't quite convert. You might see a big admission from the Team Footwiz side. Where's R9? He wasn't one of the key players, and he's not in the starting 11 for them. Gone with Pele, Ronaldinho, Mbappe as their attacking forefront. Ronaldo Nazario, shout out Gravison for that pronunciation, has been put away to the sidelines. RB Leipzig looking to build. Here is R9, the magic man, and he fires RB Leipzig into the lead.
Can't let him turn and burn. Gets the ball in the middle of the pitch, able to eye up, step over slightly to the right side, opens up everything. Goalkeeper wrong place, wrong time, no man's land, and you've got 1-0 for Leipzig, and that hurts you a little bit. If you're a Footwiz fan, they've had a couple big chances and they weren't able to convert. You've got to be clinical at this level.
31 minutes on the clock, and RB Leipzig, Umut and Anders find themselves 1 goal to the good. It was a quick start against Team Hood Ninja in pyjamas. The fourth goal fell around the 76th minute mark. Will it be a similar story this time around? Footwiz have had a knack of conceding early, but then getting back into the game. Yes. They can't afford to go 2 or 3 down against this RB Leipzig side because the game will be over.
I'm sure they wouldn't prefer it, but that has been part of the narrative.
Every game, pretty much.
They go down early and they kind of battle back in. I just think they like adversity. They're maximizing the marketing time. They're on air all the time, giving you extra time into penalty kicks in every single matchup. And I don't want to say they're slow starters because they're in the right places. Maybe they're slow converters.
The resiliency that they show, though, in those matches, they'll always bounce back. I mean, it's exhausting. Here is Pele. Mbappe, step overs, slots it in the bottom corner, and we've got a game on our hands.
Gifted, talented, prolific. You got the turn again. You're seeing the step over. That extra ball roll is so underrated and underappreciated in that moment. It gives you a little more of a re-angle for the 1v1. Goalkeeper can't do anything with it, but if you want to revisit that, you're looking to be a pro FIFA player, watch that one back. It's these little details. The subtle details make all the difference.
It's the exit out of the step over as well that creates that space. If you just did a regular step over, he's probably not getting it. It's the movement that you can create out of that to open up the space past the defender.
It's a 3-in-1. You got the step over into the ball roll that gives you a resurface to then use the outside of the boot, Trivela type of animation that we know is part of the meta this year.
Once again, Team Footwiz are 1-0 down and equalizing the game.
I think they heard you talking. Like, Rich is on the commentary, we got to do something for him.
RB Leipzig faced adversity against Brøndby yesterday in the quarterfinals. If you were watching that game, they prevailed in the end. However, if you go to extra time and penalties, there's only one winner looking at the facts, and that is Team Footwiz. Final chance of the half. The pitch has just opened up. They're asking questions, Team Footwiz. They're going, what just went wrong? What happened?
Horrific player switching. I don't know if it's a mismanage, a miscommunication. You got one player dragging too far this way. I actually believe RB Leipzig hesitated because it was so wide open, they didn't know what to do with themselves.
They're just looking at it going, oh, all right, I'll take the space. Yeah, why not? Go on then.
That's what we talk about, maybe the nerves. 45th minute, the pressure is on.
Half-time, two-legged affair is what is in the offing here as we see Umut and Anders in conversation right there.
Don't read lips.
A lot of the time it's Anders talking to Umut. This is what I expect from you. This is what I want you to do. You see the heart rates here from Ethan and Nick Sneb. Ethan with a cool 136. As the Saudi fans in the arena, they've been loving Anders throughout this weekend. Nick Sneb 142 and rising as they trail 2-1. Mike, we had 3 goals in the opening half. Let's have a look at them. And
I said I wanted to watch them back, so I guess I'm going to get my wish.
You get what you want.
So you've got the likes of Leipzig. Beautiful finish there. I think we're back into the action. You're going to have to hold that. We might have to watch the other ones when they come back later.
Mentions Zaha.
A little more of a defensive approach bringing in Klosterman. But yeah, the revisit, we're dealing with a lot of step overs. A lot of step overs and then one massive defensive error from Footwiz there in the 45th.
I mean, I've got more questions now out of the back of that defensive error. Will it hurt them moving forward? Are they going to be a little bit more tentative to play a switch? Are they going to be a little bit more tentative when RB Leipzig get the ball and start to progress in the final thirds?
You know what it looked like? It looked as if they didn't see that they had switched players, so you were just dragging them in the wrong direction.
And the space just opened. Yeah. Interesting, very interesting.
It's uncharacteristic, it's unforced, and it's unusual at this level.
Saw that run into the box there. The dribble pass came in, but maybe try and fake out the German cross into the box, send the runner in, and then play a different sort of diverted pass in field. RB Leipzig looks to go 3-1 up. Rashford gets a nice little bounce, but his pass is poor, and Footwiz, once again, in this back and forth affair, will come forward.
You see that in high-end FIFA time and time again. You have to use dummy runs. It opens up space, it drags players out of position. It also gives you options. And when you have options, you have a little more versatility, you got variety, and it makes it harder to predict what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen.
Remember a lot of the ball, Footwiz. 60% of the possession at this point. Camavinga, a couple of twists and turns, but doesn't quite exit where he wants on that particular attack. To put it in perspective as well, not only are they playing for the trophy, 300 grand, the winner takes all. Unbelievable.
Hefty pocketbooks.
For one of these two clubs. Two European giants here, Team Footwiz. Their crowning moment potentially happening in 30 minutes' time. Or will it be arguably the team that was put together for this exact reason, put together to win? A dream team, some would say, in Umut and Anders, edging ever closer. Everything's going through that midfield at the moment. Constant switches of plays, constantly just trying to wait for a mistake, wait for a player to be pulled out of position here. Our Team Footwiz, just like that, as Pele finds the ball fired into him. Unfortunately, he can't turn quick enough, and RB Leipzig come forward through Kylian Mbappe.
These teams might have more in common than we like to admit. They both love a 4-4-2. Both of them have the structured player that has more 1v1 experience, more 1v1 success when you're looking at Ethan and Umut. And then both of them have that creative maestro type. A little more unpredictable when you're dealing with Nick, Sneb, or Anders.
A spark out of nowhere that can ignite. As you see, once again, Frenkie de Jong on this occasion, piling into the box. Team Footwiz have held this ball for maybe 10 minutes here. But once again, they just can't quite breach that final line of defence. The midfield drops back, the defence sits relatively firm, and they're unable, once again, to penetrate and create any sort of good chance.
It's easier said than done. We're not seeing a lot of press from Leipzig here. They're doing a lot more of that sitting back. They're covering the passing angles. And they're letting Footwiz have the ball out wide. But again, you're not scoring goals there. And they're not a team that really whips in a bunch of crosses. They've had some moments, but I wouldn't say it's part of their organic programming, not their bread and butter, not what they're looking to accomplish as a first option.
If you start seeing crosses being played into the box, Team Footwiz have gone to plan C, plan D. No more bread and butter, more hot chili.
You see beautiful use there on a side note of the player lock. Hard to do that, even more difficult, I would say, in a 2v2 because you have so many simultaneous movements. Still not able to unlock the space, still not able to generate opportunity, and we got to give credit to Leipzig's defending. It's been fantastic.
Yeah, once again, they don't allow you chances, very free chances that you ever get against RB Leipzig, and when they can create just like that, inches offside, he sold it with the Borrell scoop turn.
And they have discipline. They don't get baited into the mistakes. And that's kind of part of the game in FIFA, is you're trying to misposition your opponents or offset them a little bit. Sometimes it's those fake runs, those dummy runs. Sometimes it's a quick passing or a skill move, or even throwing out an early skill move, knowing that you're going to go with a secondary skill move. It's again, just trying to get some of those defensive players or even the holding midfielders to move a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right. Find those margins.
We do have a two-legged game in this grand final. We've got another 90 minutes left to play. How important is it for Team Footwiz right now to potentially get an equaliser going into the second leg? Personally, I think you probably take a 2-1 after trailing 1-0. You get back into the game and then they get the goal to go in front.
If you're Footwiz, I think you're a little frustrated because you've had so much of the ball.
Yeah. Especially when this man is galloping forward. Vanja Milinkovic-Savic offloads into Mbappe. Both sides, I have to say, have defended very well. I know we were just talking there about Leipzig's defending.
That's why you have to revisit again. 45th minute. What happened? What went wrong? Because
I'm sure we'll see it.
Both teams have been so consistent, so reliable with the tackles, the player switching, the positioning. Even when they're pressing, whether they press or they go, they're doing this as a team. They're aligned.
It's been a very 50-50 game. I mean, it's probably only 51-49, and that 1% is the mistake. But 1% can be a difference between a world champion and a runner-up. Injury time here in the first leg. Team Footwiz, 1 additional minute. They've had a lot of the ball in these wide areas, unable to really break from wide into central as the fake throws come out. This could be a chance here for Team Footwiz. That's Nick Sneb in possession. Getting to the byline. He's dangerous. He gets the ball taken off him. It's on the byline. I don't have a clue what's just happened, and the referee takes us into full
And
time.
again, you don't even see that very often. That was the half drag back. It can be used as a setup skill. It's more of a builder skill, but we haven't really seen that in rotation in the pro world for a couple of years. It's kind of a throwback.
Yeah, incredible first leg. A real tactical affair, a bit of a chess match. But who is going to move first in the second leg? Let's head back to the desk and Rachel to break down what they've seen.
Yeah, thank you very much, Richard and Mike. I mean, what a first leg that was here in this year's eClub World Cup Grand Final. I'll come to you first, Lee. What did you make of the game?
I mean, you just got to look at the second goal, really. That's one that Footwear's, and you can see, I think that's almost certainly what they're talking about. It was a big error. Obviously, someone pulled the player out of position. There was magnificent amounts of space, almost to the point RB Leipzig had no clue. Like, hang on a minute, is this offside? It has to be offside, surely. No, goal.
And in terms of the response time, Alex, when they went 1-0 down, we're seeing the first goal again on the replay. 30 minutes in, Anders Vergang opened up the account. They responded early, they responded quickly, which was key, I think.
Definitely key. That's what you need to do against this RB Leipzig team. And it's what Footwears have been used to throughout this whole tournament, just constantly going behind, but always fighting. That there from Ethan, that ball roll, to take up that angle, to go for that outside the foot shot, was outrageous. The composure on that to be able to do it. But in this here, you see Nick Sneb on that orange cursor, the circle, just moving Diaz completely out of position, not where he wanted it to be. The goal went in, and I think Ethan looked at his teammate and just went, what went wrong? What happened?
And in terms of how we are at now then, one leg down, certainly still a lot more to come in this one, Aga, but for Team Footwears, what did you make of the game overall?
I think they did really, really well. Didn't allow a lot of chances, and they still asked questions to RB Leipzig's defense. So, I mean, they're definitely in this. It was the matter of that one mistake that separated them, but they have to be very cautious on these counter-attacks, and I think you can explain a little bit about that, Alex.
I was just about to say, off your point there, compared to that semi-final with Team Hullet Ninjas in Pyjamas, they were 4-0 down in that first leg. Right now, for Team Footwears, it's 2-1. They're giving themselves a very, very good chance to take the second leg to RB Leipzig.
A completely different sort of story to what the semi-final you commentated on, Lee, when it was all RB Leipzig in one leg.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, it's the first time we've really seen Anders and Umut being vocal with one another during the matchup, obviously during the goals, during everything. So it seems that, you know, they're definitely trying to make sure they know the pressure is on them now. They have that goal lead. And for Umut, obviously, he's been here. He is the world champion. But for Anders, this is his moment. This is where he's going to put his name out there. His name's out there, but this is like almost the achievement, effectively, that goes alongside it. So many times we've talked about great players that have just never quite won something. This is his moment right now.
We're on the side of RB Leipzig, Aggie. 90 minutes away, Anders Vergang at 17 years of age from his first World Championship.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely see on the pictures the leadership he's actually taking. He's pushing Umut, and I mean, he knows they're getting close now, and they will try to seal it off now.
Well, we can't wait for the second leg. Who will be crowned this year's FIFA eClub World Cup winner? For now, it's back to Richard and Mike.
Thank you very much, Brandon, Aga, Alex and Lee. Great stuff there. Bring us their thoughts after, you could say, the half-time whistle here, Mike. I'm sure everyone in attendance is loving the action as well that they are seeing. Anders and Umut 2-1 up, but it's so open, this game still. I mean, Footwears can score a goal in the first 2 minutes, and it's...
One goal is nothing in FIFA. We've spent a lot of time in this space, from commentary to the desk work to analysts to watching to playing, you name it. I do think it's important that Footwears, and it might seem kind of straightforward, that they get the next goal. You don't want to have a 2-goal spread and try to battle back against a team like Leipzig, which, again, we talk about their offense a lot and we give it so much credit, but defensively, they've been so sound. They're not breaking rules. They're following fundamentals. The way that they're reading the game plan that they have, I've been so impressed defensively, what we've seen today from RB Leipzig.
The thing that RB Leipzig do better than most, and this is also in a solo perspective for Umut and Anders, when they get in, very rarely you won't play well in a game. When you're in that good spell, you'll have a spell of maybe 15, 20 minutes in the game where you're like, oh my God, I'm winning every second bounce. I'm pushing forward, my press is good. They always seem to score in those good periods of play. Team Footwears, if they have a period of play where they are playing well and they're in control of this game, they have to capitalise on it. They have to score in that period of play. If not, when RB Leipzig get 5-10 minutes, they might score 3.
I like that point of perspective. It's definitely a true statement where there are a lot of moments in that second half of the first leg where we were saying Footwiz has the ball. They got a lot of possession, but they really weren't able to break them down, and not in the middle of the pitch. They were stuck on the wings trying to find entry passes.
Here we go, back underway in the second leg of action. Your final 90 minutes of the FIFA eClub World Cup 2023. Richard Buckley and Mike LaBelle bringing you the crowning moments here, live from Riyadh in Saudi Arabia. RB Leipzig all in white from left to right, 2-1 up after the first leg. And from right to left in that Team Footwiz strip will be the boys in green. Oh. Good double up there, because Milinkovic-Savic was walking through.
Nearly the proper setup too. You saw the ball rolls going into the scoop turn, and it allows them to kind of change direction. And it works pretty well with bulkier players. Savic, of course, has the upgraded 5-star skills, and he moves much better side to side than you probably would expect, but there are more agile players, I think it's safe to say.
I'm not sure if a 6'8" and agile.
Well, to be fair, Petr Cech at 6'6", he moves a lot better than Savic.
Mbappe galloping forward here, and this could be a chance for RB Leipzig. The step over's coming out from Umut. I gave you it in the first leg, so I'll give you it in the second now. The turquoise icon in possession right now. That will be Nick Snep. Dark blue Ethan on the other side for the leaders in this matchup. That's Umut defending there with the yellow icon. And Anders in
Henry
red.
track back that tough.
Henry left wing back. Yeah, go on then. Bad touch though from Thierry Henry. As potentially a chance starting to emerge here from Team Footwiz. I'd like to see him just be a little bit more quick in their attacks.
I'd like to see more central, even from the center mids trying to feed those attackers. And maybe that's why side to side. Look at De Jong here. De Jong can find that entry pass. I think it makes you a little less predictable, gives you more options. Again, you're trying to vary your gameplay as much as possible.
But you also probably know that RB Leipzig might have the best press in the business. So as soon as that ball goes into De Jong, you're going to have two players on his back looking to counter-attack. Here is the man we were just talking about, Frenkie de Jong, linking into Bruno Fernandes. What does he have on the edge of the box? And again, he just runs into a white shirt at the back.
Again, Leipzig does such a good job of having the one striker and then being able to feed the additional overlapping runs and finding those guys so consistently.
And everyone's getting fed just there as Marcus Rashford linking up in the final third.
If you play a lot of FIFA 2, you know the difficulty when you send it to that striker, you're surrounded by 4 or 5 bodies, to be able to find that through ball, that release pass, not have to go all the way back and have a full recycle. There's a certain gift, there's a certain talent to being able to establish and have that vision.
All 4 players on the main stage locked in. No one has broke yet in this second leg of action. Maybe Footwiz do start looking for a few crosses into the box. Maybe you just try and break down another way, because at this moment, in these areas, as they play the ball into the middle of the pitch, they've had one chance where they've scored. Other than that, in 120 minutes of FIFA, they've not been able to penetrate.
Also love to see some of the versatility or different selections between players that are on the pitch. We've seen Henry now become a bit of a staple. Robin Van Persie's making appearances. You got the likes of Dembele. Not a lot of competitors are using Dembele, even though that new upgraded item has a bit of everything.
It was about the ball out wide a lot here, but Ronaldinho just a little bit more time and space than he has previously. Frenkie de Jong into Ousmane Dembele, the stop and turn just not quite quick enough.
Oh, he tried to stop, pop, and give you a little bit of something. I think he was trying to set up an Elastico. Just it was the right angle to have that moment of unpredictable nature, something to throw off your opposition, keep them guessing.
R9 into Rashford, double step over, 3-1, RB Leipzig.
And to your point, Rich, once they get there, they know what to do with it. Step over is beyond elite. We know that Anders is known for it. The double scoop, the double piece, a lot of scissors. You're cutting, you're slicing, you're dicing, and then you have so much time to hesitate to kind of take a glance, almost a quick glance. You bought yourself a half second. Maybe it's not hesitation, it's slight hesitation, just to know where to go with the goalkeeper.
I've been more impressed from RB Leipzig, the team that is free-flowing, scores so many goals in their defensive work than I have offensively.
I mean, watch it back.
They've not allowed Footwiz anything in this tie. They had one chance where Ethan popped off a little double step over, created the space, the ball roll to make the angle, and he slotted away. But other than that, it has been a back five, solid.
It's all out wide. It's all out wide.
And you're happy for it to be there?
I'm a FIFA player that goes by the percentages, and I'll let you have the ball out wide all day before I let you have the middle of the pitch.
Bruno Fernandes, once again, having to go out wide. That's the only player that's on. Frankie de Jong, his pass intercepted.
We haven't talked about the Socrates, also new to the rotations.
Ooh, could be a chance here. It's fallen nicely for Team Footwiz. Double step over, creating the space. Great block from
Fantastic
Michael
defense.
Ballack.
You had so many different things happening there. They don't misstep. They don't shift the bodies. See if they could generate something for the corner kick.
Everyone's invested in this game right here. We saw Alex Anago watching intently as it's whipped into the box. Doesn't quite fall to Virgil van Dijk. Camavinga once again floats into the back
It's
stick.
the wrong player to Dembele.
That's why you needed Van Dijk.
It's the wrong matchup. But these are those little instances that are that important. You have to play what's in front of you. You have to play the percentage. You know you have a bad matchup there. You've got to go for something different.
Look at this back three. Michael Ballack, Buffon.
Also brand new item.
Yeah,
Highly regarded, highly rated.
they're just playing with each other.
If you're confused at home, there's been a lot of shapeshifter goalkeeper items introduced, and they are remarkable. They're different. You're going to see Neuer scoring goals potentially. Petr Cech off the bench as a super sub, now a striker. Savic, arguably the best defensive midfielder in the game.
Hugo Lloris played the strings at centre mid.
Hugo Lloris, it moves almost like a point guard or a shooting guard in basketball. His side-to-side movement, it's unbelievable. His responsiveness, you can't make this up.
45 minutes left for Team Footwiz.
You'll see Martinez in some teams. Another center back
Sitting
option.
at centre half, yeah. To salvage their Club World Cup. Ethan has been at this exact point before in his career. 2020, they lost a penalty shootout, himself and Resende for Team 11s against Complexity. We've had one goal in the second leg, and this is how it fell.
Oh, there you see it. Just step over that carries you into the right place. And once you're there, you know what to do with it. Rashford has been phenomenal for them. I think there's a lot of debate on using Rashford over some of these options. There's a lot of subjectivity with player choice. And the discussion that we saw there from the likes of Nick Sneb and Ethan, I think they were asking or discussing as to when they should go for it. When do you want to make that tactical adjustment? When do you want to go for the additional pressure? We don't really see Denman behind him, their coach, get as involved with some of the tactical breakdowns.
Motivational.
Yeah, he is more of a motivational coach.
Team Footwiz, 2 goals to potentially cause some drama.
A lot of time to work with.
I mean, if any team, any club's going to do it, it is Team Footwiz. They have been must-watch television here at the Club World Cup. 2 penalty shootout victories, a last-minute winner against Atlantide Waves. On the other hand, RB Leipzig, a couple of more comfortable matchups. A memorable tie versus Team Bromby, which has found them here to the grand final. Footwiz come forward once again.
Fantastic chase back there from RB Leipzig as well. I thought they were going to have a break. There was no space.
Bruno Fernandes trying to unpick something in this defence. Can't find the key on this occasion. And once again, RB Leipzig more than happy to see this clock tick down. Mbappe. A 4th goal surely kills the game. The next goal in this tie is pivotal in which direction we will twist and turn. And here is RB Leipzig. The ball falls very kindly to Footwiz. Sometimes there you make the tackle, it falls to the striker. On this occasion.
Fancy footwork with Mbappe. Try not to step over exit you would have preferred, but I think they were just trying to kind of realign and then go into a secondary skill.
I've not seen enough from... I mean, the wide players have had a lot of the ball, but they've not been able to get them narrow, especially when you start to create. A formation change has to be in order here for Team Footwiz. Hopefully you don't make that formation change. trailing 3 goals.
If you asked me at the beginning of the year, the starting midfield of RB Leipzig would be Savic, the goalkeeper. I repeat, Savic, the goalkeeper, and Socrates, who we have never seen in a competitive rotation before this year.
Chance here for Team Footways. Driven pass into the box.
That's unlucky. They'd used the player lock. Just kind of an unforced error on the layoff.
They conceded a goal just like that against Ajax, where it went straight on the goalkeeper.
It's kind of a hit and miss. You're trying to whip it in. You're getting that extracurricular, the driven pass. Anytime you use a driven pass, you do take a little bit of a risk with accuracy. You're trying to get a little more of that additional whippage. But I thought by adding the player lock in and then using the driven pass,
you're minimizing the doubt.
Yeah, it would be hitting the foot. And it wasn't even close. It was off by 5-6 feet at least.
Let's see the changes here that have been made.
I think there's still formation, still in the 4-4-2. Maybe they're going to go with a press after possession loss. What are we in, the 65th minute?
Pogba has to come on. He's been pivotal in a lot of these games. He is going to be introduced.
Yeah, Pogba up front with Pele, and Mbappe's
maybe
moving out
Messi
wide to the wing. We haven't seen Messi really getting minutes like that.
Get Lloris on.
Lloris has made such a difference for so many teams. You start to ask or start to question, maybe it is his time to shine.
So it's going to be Henry and Pogba both brought on here for Team Footways. They're just setting up a couple of different instructions as well. So if you're wondering what they're doing, this might be the formation they're playing with, and then throughout the game,
a multi-switch. It's looking like a 3-4-1-2, and then a 4-4-2, but a more aggressive 4-4-2. I don't think it'll be as flat or as defensive as we've been seeing with this 4-4-2, and I'm expecting them to stay with the 4-4-2 maybe for the next 5 to 10 minutes. It looks like they were already setting up their secondary swap.
The wide players, they've been involved, but in the wrong. You want them coming in field. Being that extra pass at the back post. Instead, they've just been stuck out wide with no real help. Pele gets the ball robbed off him. And RB Leipzig maybe thinking for a fourth, maybe thinking try and kill the game. If I know Umut and Anders, it's a fourth, followed by a fifth, followed by a sixth. It could be right around the corner as Ronaldinho, he hit him as well with that reverse elastico.
Oh, double cute pause as well. I don't think either team likes what they're seeing. And I don't love the midfield here. The 4-4-2 doesn't give them the options that I think they need to have for some of the probing passes. They find themselves out wide if you're looking at Footways, but they're not crossing. They're not whipping in crosses. They're not getting the advantage of having that additional wing play.
This could be that advantage. Paul Pogba off the bench, green timed off the post, the rebound straight into the hands of Edwin van der Sar.
It's got to be said, that's unlucky. You did everything right there. The elastico, you open it up. You've got the double 5-star with Pogba. Green time, still hits the post. Rebound open, goalkeeper gets back into position. Maybe you don't take that first time going for the rebound. Maybe they rushed it a little bit, but the initial setup there with Pogba, it's got to be complimented. You can insert some superlatives. It's the right player, it's the right zoning, it's the right skill move, it's the right finish.
What minute was it? Do you remember where they tied up the game against Atlanta Wave? I think the 77th minute they scored, and then the 87th they got the equaliser. They've done it before.
And then the 120th for a winner.
They've done it before.
We've seen without penalties at this point. That one hurts. That one hurts because you had the ultimate teaser. Right. Yeah, but you got a little preview. You did what you were supposed to do. It didn't work out for you. Sometimes there's a little bit of that misfortune. And then I don't love the rebound attempt. I see what they saw. They went first time. You were in a good position. Maybe you take that touch.
If you're leading, if the roles are switched, RB Leipzig take a touch. Maybe another touch, and then probably a green time finish. For Team Footways, he's willing the ball into the back of the net.
And you can see here Leipzig as well as into the classic 5-4-1, going with more of that defensive approach. Going to look for a lot of those swinging side to side with Klosterman and Davies as easy outlets, and then of course if space opens up, overlapping runs. They've done such a good job with a lot of the supporting runs. You find RB Leipzig get the ball up to the striker, holds it up slightly, and then you have that outlet, you have that release out wide.
Pogba left mid, maybe going to be used more for his defensive work here.
I think more so for lobbing the ball to him as an outlet. It's a safe outlet, he'll win the header. And he's probably going to be going up against a fullback. He should have a size advantage.
Team Footwiz, 13 minutes on the clock, 2 goals needed. You've given us fireworks already. Do we have a couple more rockets in the bag to potentially tie us up? Paul Pogba, his pass intercepted by Virgil van Dijk, once again in the right place at the right time, and with black shirts flying forward, it means one thing, and that's space in behind for RB Leipzig.
Uh-oh.
A little bit of a mistake there, losing possession with Ronaldinho. They go direct, and Thierry Henry's
that's
pass.
like a book. That's such good defense there.
The ball is falling back for Team Footwiz, all the way back to the goalkeeper. Sometimes gets a bit nervy in there. Every single loose pass is going Team Footwiz's way as Pele sticks it wide of the post.
That might be it, Rich. They had to finish. We talk about needing to be a surgeon. You have to be clinical. They haven't been. And a little bit of that goalkeeper movement threw off the shot. It wasn't time green. I don't think it was even necessarily rushed, but Van der Sar made himself big. He took up a lot of space in the goal.
Once again, into a pause. We can't have many pauses left at this rate. We're getting towards the where you see that little message saying you have no pauses remaining.
I'm going to get ahead of ourselves here. I think it is worth bringing up. Umut now with the FIFA E World Cup. He's got the eClub. He's got the virtual Bundesliga. A couple occasions being the German champion. I think he starts to join that conversation now of the Nicholas, the MS Desaris, the Tex.
Putting his name in there. He just floated his name in the hat.
I'm just looking at.
I would say over
what's
the last...
right is right. He also made the finals for the ECL. I know he didn't win the ECL, but he's there. He's looking top 4 in ECL this year. Like, you're just adding to the accomplishments in the achievement list. We're looking at majors.
He's a very consistent operator, is Umut. Ever since we first saw him, I think, one of the big events at Atlanta, back in FIFA 20, he was just so cool, calm and composed under pressure.
And that's when he was raw.
Yeah.
He's gotten a lot better since
He's been redefined. With every championship victory he's had, he's added a little bit on. And maybe you're going to see Anders start to add on a little bit more. But Footwiz have got their own story left to tell.
Ooh.
2-3 minutes remaining.
Can they get the ball back? This is one of those key moments where it is a question. Is it 1 minute of extra time or is it 2?
They've got to go now. Team Footwiz, 3-2 down.
Surely
Will
not.
they get a chance?
That's it.
RB Leipzig just holding possession. 1 additional minute, all the way back to the goalkeeper. Anders Vergang, Umut, you are world champions once again. RB Leipzig on top of the club mountain here in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
Congratulations. It's got to be said, they've earned it. They've looked the most dominant throughout the last